Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. It's a podcast where we talk about growing up and living queer, nerdy, and depressed online and at the cinema. From the kids who are glad you are with us here at the end of all things, it's Sneeple at the Movies. I'm Maddie.
I'm Helena.
And I'm Ezra.
And welcome, beloved listeners, to the final part of our Lord of the Rings Summer, Part 4. It is indeed been a long journey there and back again, but we have done it. Well, we've started doing it. You still have to listen to the next hour and a half or whatever it's going to be. But after that, we'll have done it.
Nice.
And we will start talking about other movies, which I'm sure everyone is excited about. No, I hope people have had a good time. I assume people have had a good time.
We certainly have, so we hope that you have too. Yeah, so in honor of the Hobbit movies, which we are not talking about, the last one of which is absolutely called There and Back Again, fucking Fight Me New Line Cinema.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why this episode's called that, because we're right and good.
I wasn't aware that they ever made those movies. I completely blocked them out of my memory.
Hobbit movies
that was probably a smart decision.
They made Hobbit. You mean the animated one? Is that what you're talking about?
I have a vague memory of Lee Pace wearing a blonde wig and having an airbrushed face, which was horrifying.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Why do that?
Yeah, it's fine. I had enough ugly emotions for, like, the population of a small country about those movies, so, like, you know. Anyway, let's talk about movies that I have enough ugly emotions about to fuel a small country that are actually good.
Let's. What we sneep. So I finally fucking finished Red Jacket of Lupin the Third. For those who don't know, Lupin the Third is broken into he wears different colored jackets. It's stupid, bear with me. But most of it is Red Jacket, which is like the second part, and it's like 155 episodes. I've already seen parts 4 and 5, but like the big hurdle was finishing Red Jacket, and I finally did that. So I'm actually on the kind of downward slope to finishing Lupin the Third, which is crazy. I've been doing this for a hot minute. So it's like, oh wow, I have not much left. I think I have like maybe total 50 eps left to go through.
I want sometime you should try to like average out the sheer number of hours you've spent watching Lupin, because I tried to do that for Crit Roll and it made my brain hurt. It's fun.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard, thankfully, because they're broken up pretty evenly. But it's a lot. I've watched a lot of it. But I finished Red Jacket, watched some other stuff from part 1, but I've been watching the Dresden Files TV show as kind of taking a break, because I, like, marathoned 50 episodes in a couple weeks, and I was like, whew, enough anime, time for a questionable fantasy show based on books that I like. And so I've been rewatching that. I'm almost done. Really fun. Paul Blackthorne is a pretty decent actor in a very bad show. It's not that bad. It's fine.
It's definitely
extremely early 2000s.
Yeah, it's a throwback to a certain era of like sci-fi original show that I feel like includes stuff like Warehouse 13 and Eureka and like stuff that's like, you know, is it like good? Does it have its moment? It's like good, you know, good characters, has its moments, is overall kind of doofy, but also like doesn't take itself super seriously.
No.
Are we including in this their SyFy's like weird obsession with doing sci-fi adaptations of classic novels, the way that they did with Tin Man,
absolutely,
Alice, and Neverland, and Let It Be Known? Of course, I watched all 3 of those.
Fucking, I was apeshit over Tin Man, like, in the days of LiveJournal fandom.
Yeah. I never saw the Neverland one, but
I never did either, actually.
Oh, bro. Can I just talk about that for a second? I will wait till you're done, and I will go last, but I will talk about that, which I haven't watched recently, but whatever.
But we'll talk about it. Yeah, so I've been watching that, and it's just been really fun. It's been, like, nice to, like, watch something that's just like doesn't take itself seriously but is like a good laugh. I have had a lot of laugh out loud moments where like I could tell they wanted me to laugh, which was really nice.
That's good.
It's just a good time.
It is also worth noting that the guy who plays Bob the Skull in the Dresden Files TV show is Terrence Mann, aka...
It's fucking Terrence Mann.
Yeah, aka the originator of such roles in Broadway hits as Javert in Les Mis, and fucking the horny cat in Cats, whose name I can never remember.
Oh, that's from Tom Tugger, right?
Yeah, thanks. God, I hate saying that.
I hate
name,
the fuck
so
that
I
hate that I know that!
Yeah, well, you know, we all have our fucking burdens.
I almost said which one. I was like, which horny cat? There's so many.
Like, the main yeah, okay, one. That's they're all horny, actually. That's, like, part of the plot of Cats. But, and also, the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, the stage show. Yeah. Anyway.
And also, he plays Bob the Skull, an undead necromancer spirit who lives in a skull. And everyone has flip phones and it kicks ass.
This is something that, like, Maddie and I watched together early on in our friendship, and now I, like, want to watch it again super bad.
Yeah. I like the books, too. The books are, like, very, like, pulp, modern fantasy in a very fun way. And it has one of my favorite boys of all time in it, and he's not in the show, and it's fine, and I'm fine. Mm-hmm. They probably wouldn't have cast him well anyway, I'm over it. So that's what I've seen. Who would like to go next?
I have a rant about Neverland, so I think Ezra should go next.
So, Z, do you want to go next?
Yeah, okay. So I guess I had kind of a light movie watching couple of weeks. I'm, like, vaguely back on the, like, actually reading books again kick. Instead. So I read this great book called Mirage, and I'm gonna look up the author's name really fast, who is somebody who is actually a friend of a friend, which is very cool. Samaya Dowd. And it's, I think Mirage is her debut novel, but the sequel, which is called Court of Lions, just came out, this past week, and so I'm waiting for that from the library. But it's a sci-fi novel that is set, in a very, just, like, rich and beautifully detailed, Middle Eastern-inspired culture that's been, invaded and subjugated by this, like, intergalactic empire thing. And the main character, on the, like, night of her, like, 18th birthday coming of age thing gets kidnapped, and doesn't know why until she finds out it's because she is a dead ringer for the crown princess. And so they force her to be her body double. And so it has all of this, it's just gorgeous. The writing is super engaging. I blew through it in like 4 days. You know, I was like hiding in the cooler at work to like read a couple more pages of it on my phone. So like big, huge recommendation for that. And I can't wait to read the sequel. It's just like lush and lyrical and so gorgeous. And like really exciting. And then on the like wildly other side of the coin, on the like disappointing media front, for some reason, my roommate and I were like, let's just like watch. We have access to his dad's like library of DVDs that he owns that he's like ripped and like put in the cloud, basically, which is just like an absolute metric fuck ton of random movies. And so we were like, hey, there's that, The Gentleman movie, that's a Guy Ritchie, you know, London gangster film. Let's watch that. Friends, don't watch that. It's just, you know, it's like, I can't articulate exactly what is wrong with it, but it's like the rhythm is off. Like, there's a particular kind of almost dance floor beat to, like, good Guy Ritchie movies. And this one just, like, never hits the right rhythm. So it's just, like, kind of weird and confusing and boring. Which sucks, because it's got, like, good people in it. I don't know. Colin Farrell's in it. He wears a lot of tracksuits, so, like, that's pretty funny. Hugh Grant is in it at just, like, having the time of his fucking life, because he gets to be, like, these bizarre caricature characters now, which is, like, way better than what he used to have to do. So that's good. But I don't know, yeah, it was dumb, and then also, like, the internet kept crapping out, like, right before the end, so we just, like, didn't watch the last, like, 10 minutes of the movie, and I don't care.
I heard that it was, a touch racist, too.
It is also, it's racist. Like, it's just straight up racist. It has this weird thing where, like, characters keep, like, commenting on how it's, like, no longer acceptable to be as bigoted as they used to be while still being very bigoted.
Gotta love it. Like, I don't have to put up with that enough in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it was unsatisfying, which is too bad, because, like, it sort of failed at all of the things that you watch Guy Ritchie movies for, which is, like, too bad.
Well, on the bright side, he's not directing Sherlock Holmes 3.
This is true. I'm actually, like, this made me, I used to be bummed about that, and then this kind of made me be like, oh, okay, like, actually, I might want to see somebody, like, imitate Guy Ritchie, but better these days. The only random thing is, I have to give a shout out to, it did contain one of my favorite, random British, mostly theater actors. It was always nice to see Sam West. They had him in some very ridiculous corduroy country gentleman outfits. And he just has such nice hair. So, thanks, Sam West, for your nice hair and funny tweets about birding in the UK. He's funny on Twitter. I like him a lot.
Didn't
he's just like he always
once.
Yeah, he definitely has liked a couple of my tweets where I'm just like, "Oh, hey, Sam West is in this movie." Cool. Cuz I often tweet at him where I'm like, "Oh, hey, Sam West is in this movie." You're always like a highlight.
Oh.
Cuz he's just good. And so he plays a lot of kind of like one scene or bit parts in like bigger, higher profile films, and I'm always just like, oh hey, it's Sam West.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah. So yeah, go read Mirage by Samaya Dowd. Do not watch The Gentleman. I mean, do whatever you want, but like, I just think you're gonna be disappointed.
I would plug that as a segue somehow into what I've sneaked. This is just a terrible thing to say out loud, really. Fun to type, bad to say. The guy who is directing Sherlock Holmes 3 is Dexter Fletcher, I believe, who directed Rocketman. So
yeah. That's right, because when we heard about that, we were like, okay, all right.
I'm into that. The more time I spend thinking about it, the more into it I am, because one, now I really want to go watch Rocketman again, and also two, like, is Dexter Fletcher like a fucking name that the guy had to take because, like, you know, because of union credits, or does he just have like the coolest name on the planet?
Does he just naturally have a name like a Sherlock Holmes side character? Yeah, I think he actually just does have that naturally.
Damn. Sometimes, you know, mostly England is like really bad at naming children, but sometimes they come through.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea. Yeah, let's see. What have I seen? I watched some, you know, my parents got the Disney Plus subscription. We actually watched a couple of documentaries. I was, for some reason, wanting to rewatch Aladdin because I haven't seen Aladdin in a really long time. And we ended up, on the first night that we intended to rewatch Aladdin, we ended up watching a documentary about Howard Ashman instead, just called Howard, which is kind of like a documentary spin-off of the documentary Waking Sleeping Beauty, which is about the time, like, during the late 80s, early 90s, when there was all that weird shit going on behind the scenes at Disney with Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg and Roy Disney and, like, like, it's alright, is there a cat?
No, that's fucking Michael Eisner every time he talks ever.
Hello.
He says hello in a very particular...
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they're fine documentaries. I cried during both of them, of course, because Howard Ashman was just a genius, and he died way too soon, and it gets me real upset. And they showed like the footage. I think in Waking Sleeping Beauty they showed so when they made Beauty and the Beast, Howard Ashman died, I think, about 9 months or 6 months before the movie actually came out, so we never saw the completed version. But they screened the incomplete version at New York Film Festival. So they showed like the transformation sequence at the end of the movie when it was like just in sketch form. I mean, it was moving. It just hadn't been inked or anything like that, or fully animated. And that's like as they showed it at the New York Film Festival, and it was fucking incredible. And yeah, I got emotional. But yeah, I love Howard Ashman. Hate Disney sometimes. They owe him fucking everything. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't be. They owe him everything, and they've been trying unsuccessfully, largely, to imitate him since. Mm-hmm.
He basically, there's footage of them, and the animators like admitted to this. Like he had to go in and tell them, yeah, like in musical theater, you have a character who has a want song, and so your characters have to have a basic want in the script to keep them going throughout the movie. And they were like, oh shit, this is new information. And I'm like, you're fucking like, I just like could not believe that they didn't know that. But everybody learns at some point, so that's why, like, as he wrote Part of Your World was like, okay, so she has this very clear, like, established want, and then we can have that throughout the rest of the movie, so we're rooting for her. And then I think Jeffrey Katzenberg was like, people are getting bored during this song, so we need to cut it. And Howard Ashman was like, literally, over my dead body, I will strangle you and you will die, Jeffrey Katzenberg, if you cut this scene. So luckily it didn't happen. Anyway, Jeffrey Katzenberg sucks. We did eventually rewatch Aladdin, though, and it was very good. I also rewatched The Princess Bride, because I got that on Criterion months ago, and I haven't had the chance to watch it yet. It was beautiful! Yeah. It looks so good! I just rewatched it relatively recently, which is why I had been kind of putting it off for a few months, because I had, like, just watched it, but it was worth watching it again. Also, my dad and I were going to watch Star Trek on Tuesday, and then we saw that Jurassic Park was on Netflix, so we just watched Jurassic Park. That was good. Jurassic Park's a good movie.
Sure is, bud.
Yeah, it is.
And then Vampire, which is a 1932, I want to say, film. Yeah. That's the movie that Leia got me for Christmas on Criterion.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a 1932 film by Carl Theodor Dreyer, who it's not a silent film, but it effectively kind of feels like it at times. There's very, very little dialogue, and it's very moody. It's a very, very weird movie, and quite spooky. I wasn't 100% sure what was going on all the time, but there were parts where I was like genuinely like creeped out by it, and I thought that was pretty cool. Very, very fun bit of like early, I think it's a Danish film, early cinema. But the highlight of it, I think, of what I've watched since we last got together is Rafiki, which I watched on the Criterion channel. It is a movie from 2018, directed by Wanuri Kahiu, I think is how you pronounce her name. And it is about these two girls in Nairobi who fall in love with each other, and their dads are running for like the same position under like a local political election. And they also come from different like it's social classes, and they fall in love, and it's like really beautiful and sweet and colorful. And I know that like this movie went through a lot of trouble when it came out because homosexuality is still banned in Kenya, so like they wouldn't show it anywhere. So I think I'm just kind of reading about it right now. They just kind of found a way to show at other places, and it was really beautiful. And I just want to talk about Rafiki, and everybody should watch Rafiki.
I heard it was super, super good.
It's really,
definitely on my list.
Yeah, it's super sweet and like really emotionally honest and like subdued and like just really, really textured and lived in and just really, really beautiful. But let's talk about Neverland real quick. Speaking of things that are not beautiful, I will try to be so quick on this. Neverland was that was the Peter Pan adaptation of miniseries that SyFy did in 2011. I pirated it. No, I didn't. That's not true. I found a way to watch it when I was in college in 2011. Rhys Ifans plays.
Oh my god.
Rhys Ifans plays the Captain Hook character.
That man just has such a weird face.
I know.
Sorry.
But he's like really terribly kind of, you know what I'm about. Weirdly attractive in it.
I do. I know.
And the other thing is that Anna Friel is also in it. Anna Friel, who some of people may know from Pushing Daisies as Chuck, she plays a pirate who was already in Neverland, and her and Captain Hook have history and do the nasty, and it's like everything that I could ever want. I remember literally nothing else about that show, except that, like, I think Hook was a father figure for Peter, and he trusted him, and then he betrayed him because he was, you know, secretly terrible, sneaky villain, you know, a Rhys Ifans character. And then they fucked, and I was like, I will remember this for the rest of my life, thank you. And then I didn't remember anything else. I am posting a picture of them in the Discord as we speak.
Thank you. I was gonna say, this sounds like the plot of literally every one of these SyFy adaptations is brown-haired girl ends up with questionable man.
Okay, I mean, Helena, I
that's
love you, but I do not respect you wanting to fuck Rhys Ifans.
I don't necessarily want to fuck him.
Okay, that's fair.
He's got the vibes. That's all I'm saying about it.
She's hot.
Oh, those are vibes. That second photo is vibes.
It's the vibes. It's all about that.
It's all about the vibes.
I think they were dating at one point too. I'm not sure. I'm getting some pictures on the Google image search that are telling me like, oh yeah, they're dating. Oh my god, Anna. Oh god. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's all I remember about it. It's kind of all I remember about the Alice miniseries as well. I know a lot of stuff happened in that show, but all I remember is, no.
Shit, though.
The Mad Hatter is kind of hot in like a terrible, like, English punk band
way. Yeah.
And then he and Alice have sexual chemistry.
For those of us who grew up, whose fucking formative years included punk rock emo boys. He's like skinny and vulnerable and wears eyeliner. Like, there's a whole generation of people who are attracted to men who just look at that and like freak out.
It's super bad. I'm not attracted to Andrew Lee Potts in anything else.
That's who it is.
Who
the fuck? No, I was gonna say who plays the Mad Hatter. I was trying to fucking remember.
Oh yeah, and then I posted there's actress Coriana Kilcher. I think that's her name. Who I think was in that what's his bucket? Who's that director that you hate, Ezra? Who made fucking Thin Red Line?
Terrence Malick.
She was in the Terrence Malick movie New World with Colin Farrell. That super fucked up one where they're like they're in love and it's weird.
I love to get called out on my own podcast.
Here's a picture
of my fucking controversial taste of hating Terrence Malick movies.
Here's a picture of Rhys Ifans and Anna Friel in something.
I cannot believe that you just sent me this fucking picture of Hatter in the year of our Luigi 2020, and also
hold on, I'm trying to find
how much I want those pants.
I watched that show so fucking much. I also recently watched a YouTube video about it was one of Lindsay Ellis's character canon videos. I can't remember what they're actually called. Talking about the history of the Wicked Witch of the West character, and they showed clips from Tin Man, and I was like, holy shit, I am having such awful flashbacks right now to how many times I watched this stupid fucking show that I had a really good time.
As I post a photo.
It's extremely bad, but it's also kind of I mean, no, it's bad, but it's like, it's what I said about Attack of the Clones today when we were talking about it earlier. Like, it's so bad that it speeds up and it kind of breaks the sound barrier, and then it circles back around to being kind of good. Like, the concept of it is like...
It is compulsively watchable, and also it's very,
bad.
No, okay, it's bad, but it's bad in a way that's, like, fanfic bait.
Yes.
And look, we all watched a lot of extremely mediocre genre television in our adolescences, mostly because it was very fanfic bait.
Yeah.
And now. But there's a lot more, like, high-budget, like, actually good genre media out there these days, which is, I'm circling this back to Lord of the Rings. Part of that is because Lord of the Rings is one of the things that made studios want to take a chance budget-wise on higher budget, more production time, just people with more credentials for writing and acting and all of this kind of stuff. You know, that was like The Lord of the Rings proved that was a worthwhile investment, but like, I mean, obviously also the things that I'm talking about came out after Lord of the Rings, but look, everyone on this podcast watched a lot of deeply, deeply dubious...
My last word on the sci-fi shows, what I will say that their problem is, that to circle back to Lord of the Rings, they all are like, have a really interesting, fun, like, AU fanfic concept with maybe one or two really good performances. In Alice, it's Andrew Lee Potts. In Neverland, it's Anna Friel and Rhys Ifans. In Tin Man, it's Neil McDonough as the Tin Man, possibly Alan Cumming, but Alan Cumming feels a little bit weird in it. And then the rest
Alan
of it is
Cumming
just...
isn't good, but he just is like,
I love
imprinted a weird amount of my personality on it. So.
Yeah. I love him, but
it's
not. It's just miscast. It's just horribly miscast, and so is Alice. Even though, like, Cole Meany, I think, is in Alice. And
fucking Christ, seriously?
I love Cole Meany, but like, why is he there? I do love
Cole Meany, but not that.
Yeah, so that's their issue. Is like they're badly directed, kind of miscast, and then
they're not well written. Like, the scripts are bad.
The dialogue is bad, but the concept, I'm just like, this fucks. Yeah. I wish it were better.
Yeah.
No,
this slaps. Too bad it is bad, though.
Yeah, like the version of it, because the version of it that exists in your head is way better than the one that they actually made.
Yeah.
And like, that's why you watch it, because it helps you build the version that exists in your head, like, not because you actually think that the thing is good.
I had to be reminded by a Google search that Kathy Bates was also in Alice playing the Queen of Hearts. Never mind. What? I forgot about that. Oh, misery indeed.
Yeah, and it's
anyway.
Fucking... God.
My brain is just like melting out my ears thinking about all of this shit, because now I'm just like, I'm thinking about like, you know what is like the inheritor to that tradition, but in a good way, is The Librarians.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love that show.
We should
Maddie,
do an episode.
You would really like that show. Have you
I've
watched
seen
Librarians?
a bunch of it with you.
Did we watch? Okay, wow, holy shit, I'm terrible.
Back in the old days, we watched a bunch of it together.
Yeah, my brain just like went kaputski.
It's fine. This was many moons ago. We should do a whole episode on just like the legacy of SyFy shows and adaptations at some point, because like, wow, what a fucking legend.
Yeah. Oh man.
There's
do we want to talk about Lord of the Rings though?
Yeah, the post Lord of the Rings,
about
like everyone, the sheer number of things that are sort of definitely the inheritors of like weird broken up bits of the legacy of the Lord of the Rings films.
Truly astounding.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that Return of the King swept at the Oscars. Huge hit. The best year that's ever happened in human history, and it's all been downhill ever since. Actually, let me take that one back. When did Return of the King win at the Oscars?
It will be
2003?
Well, it'd be
alright, for a second.
The year 2004, but yeah, for 2002.
Yeah, but...
Yes.
Yeah.
For a second I was like, it wasn't 2001, right?
No.
I want to be like 2001 was the best year to ever happen. No. That was the year Fellowship came out.
Yeah.
yeah, now you understand why I was like, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Let me double check my memory here. Yeah, so it was, that was the best year that ever happened, and then everything went downhill after that. But it's interesting that Lord of the Rings was such a huge blockbuster hit, changed the face of fantasy, for movies anyway. And then it kind of took a few years for everything else to catch up. Like, they looked at Return of the King, did that, and then they were like, but did she? And then they started to make bigger budget things. But that took a long time, and part of it you can be like, well, production just takes time. Like, they saw how well Return of the King did, and then they went into production. But I would say, like, the next, like, big budget, like, good fantasy thing, quote-unquote good, was probably Game of Thrones, unless one of you could think of something else that was as much of a hit.
It's tough to say, because, like, I feel there's a second influencer in terms of television when it comes to shows like Game of Thrones, because I've always thought that, like, with semi-historical drama, which like Game of Thrones does kind of balance that line, right, between high fantasy and it's fantasy for people who don't like fantasy, who think that fantasy is lame and should be gritty or whatever, and anyway, whatever, and that's just my onion, and and a lot of, I think, post 2005 2006 like historical period shows owe either their legacy to one of two things. They either owe it to Rome, or they owe it to Downton Abbey, which are two extremely different vibes.
Those are the two genders.
Yeah! The two genders, yeah. And so you have, like, these, I think I may have talked about this before, but you have this one genre that's, like, really, like, high budget, because that's the reason that Rome was canceled, was that it was an extremely well-acted and well-written show, but the budget was absolutely fucking insane, and there was no way they could have, because they were filming on location in fucking Italy, and there was no way that they could do that. They had all, like, his period-accurate fucking centurion costumes. No, can't do it. Without an insanely high viewership, which they just didn't have because people have bad taste. Please come over to my house where you can watch Rome on DVD.
And meet my dog named after a character from Rome.
Yeah, we did do that. So there's a kind of genre of television that you see, like, after that, especially since Rome was an HBO show and could, like, just put fucking as much sex and violence as it wanted. So you have a whole genre of, like, television that's just, like, sex, violence, sex, violence, to the tune of the walking song from Frogs. Well done, Helena. And,
that was a niche fucking cut.
Niche fucking reference. Niche. Nobody got it except for you, Ezra.
I just got sniped from 260 miles away.
Unfortunately, I missed it. Can you hit me one more time?
I just said, like, sex, violence, vaguely to the tune of, like, the traveling song from Frogs, the Sondheim musical that nobody knows for a good reason.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, you only got Z with that one.
Yep, I'm not planning on getting anybody else. It's okay.
That's because the weirdest thing I ever asked for Hanukkah was the fucking 2-disc thing of the Frogs and Evening Primrose.
Mm-hmm.
That version of Frogs is actually better than the other version that they did. No shade to Roger Bart. Anyway,
sorry.
Niche, deep cut. So there's one genre that's, like, you know, violence, sex. I think, like, Spartacus is, like, an extreme example, which is a show that I never watched, but my dad did, which was, like, a highly stylized, also kind of inspired by 300 and all of that Zack Snyder stuff.
Right.
Which actually that show actually had quite a decent amount of, like, good gay characters on it, so I have a little bit of respect for it.
I saw a lot of Spartacus on my Tumblr dash back in the day, because there were the two dudes, one of whom had a really good nose.
Yeah.
Who were in love.
It was good. Like, I think, from what I remember, and I didn't actually watch the show like a real person, I think that part of the show was done well. I think there was some Willa Willa stuff in there as well. I can't remember.
Then always just, anytime somebody says it like that, it sounds like that's the name of a town in Australia.
So there's that genre that I think people subconsciously owe a debt too with Rome. And then there's the other Downton Abbey genre that's the kind of like overscored, melodramatic, aren't rich people great kind of genre of mostly you see now on Masterpiece Mystery, not Masterpiece Mystery, but Masterpiece Theater. Every other show is like, and this is a show about colonial India and how these British people had it so hard trying to blend in with the culture. And I'm like, please shut the fuck up, anything but this. I thought that Downton Abbey was canceled, and there she had a terrible younger sister who's come of age, and now I have to deal with this fucking debutante ball anyway.
Look, I just, if I wanted that, I would go back to college to read more E.M. Forster novels.
Right? I would just rewatch fucking Room with a View and be done with it. And that one has Rupert Graves skinny dipping in a pool. Like, hello, obvious choice. Anyway.
I do love the number of Merchant Ivory films where Rupert Graves just gets his kid off.
Look, they knew what we wanted.
Yeah, they did.
They knew what they were doing. So I feel like 20 minutes later, I feel like Game of Thrones owes a lot to... No, it's my fault. It owes a lot to, like, those two things, and obviously I know that the books were written before the Lord of the Rings movies came out, but, like, I feel like there was an attempt to appeal to the people who don't like fantasy and think it's lame and want, to kind of hook into that demographic that of people that are really into the hyper stylized 300 movies and more violent, like an older crowd too that are into this serious HBO dramas, and like somehow HBO gives it a veneer of respectability and seriousness, and it's like, nah, no, it's not.
And like that's mostly tits you got there. That's mostly tits.
It's mostly a show about sexual assault now. That's just what you've done. That's all you've done. It's okay. And there's like, I watched 4 seasons of it, I think. There's some good acting on it. I'm not entirely sure when I stopped watching, what season I was in.
Lord of the Rings stays good after Sean Bean dies. Game of Thrones did not stay good after Sean Bean died. That's my hot take.
There was the season 1 was pretty enjoyable. There was a couple of good episodes after that. Some good Tyrion stuff. Then,
Maddie and I got to watch The Red Wedding with people who didn't know what was going to happen.
LOL.
Yeah, I also did not know what was going to happen.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But also, I had literally never seen an episode of Game of Thrones before, so I was like, I don't really care what happens.
R.I.P. to Richard Madden.
He got to go do better stuff.
He lived on in our
God
hearts.
bless him.
But yeah, I guess that's my really long way of saying, like, Lord of the Rings did it better, I guess, and agreeing with you.
Uh-huh.
But it happens so often, is like, something will happen, and people will be like, this was successful. How do we duplicate this success? Obviously, we do this by making the same exact thing. And it's like, no, actually, all that they did was, like, do it well, and, like, it was well written. That's literally all that they did. And it's like, haha, no, you're kidding. Must be that we just need to duplicate every single thing. And it's, tragic mistake.
Alright, here's my fucking hot take on this, which is actually, like, more about Lord of the Rings, the novels, than it is about the films, but this is my podcast and I can do whatever I want. Unless Maddie cuts this out when they're editing it, in which case it's Maddie's podcast and they can do whatever they want.
That's right. That's the secret.
Yeah, that's the secret. Maddie is the arbiter of content on Sneeple at the movies. Anyway, is that sort of... There's the standard fantasy plot that involves, like, someone who is ordinary getting a magical object and then having to go on a quest with the magical object as, like, a basic fantasy novel plot. And I feel like I read a lot of those after reading Lord of the Rings as, like, an adolescent, and they were always, like, billed as comparing them to Lord of the Rings. And I was always like, but that's really not the plot of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's like when Harry Potter came out and after Harry Potter came out and every, like, vaguely young adult middle readers fantasy was like, it'll fill the void of Harry Potter, and it's like they used to do that with Artemis Fowl. You're like, oh, this will satisfy children, and like Artemis Fowl has literally practically nothing in common with Harry Potter at all.
At all.
Except that, like, they're kind of British, except not, because he's Irish. Like, that's it. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I'm just thinking about, like, all of the kind of magic destiny sword type, like, I read a lot of Sword of Shannara books. I read a lot of Shannara books. And those are always kind of, you know, most of those kinds of books are like whatever the magical MacGuffin is like something that allows the main character to, like, unlock their potential. And, like, everything that Frodo achieves is in spite of the magical MacGuffin that he's carrying around, not because of it. And so it's always just like, I think that a lot of the, like, oh, it's like Lord of the Rings is almost more like almost always an aesthetic assessment rather than one that has anything to do with the, like, themes or content, because everybody's just like, oh, I don't know, it's got elves.
It's got them elves, like, in it, yeah.
It's got them elves in it, and they look like they look like D&D elves. So, like, obviously it's like Lord of the Rings, or it's got dwarves, and, like, it's got, you know, it's got dwarves and elves and they don't get along. Haha, it's like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I was thinking about this actually the other night in relation to Jurassic Park. One of the things
that's a curveball. I'm excited.
Well, I just think that, like, to your point, one of the things that people, it seems to me, in the Jurassic Park sequels and in the recent terrible remakes that are bad, the hook seems to be, you want to see this movie because it's Jurassic Park, and that's what's going to make this film good, is that we're going to give a Jurassic Park to you. Which is banking on the success of the first movie, and kind of, it's a weird retroactive judgment that what people liked about Jurassic Park was that it was Jurassic Park, which absolutely makes no sense when you're evaluating the movie in any kind of context, because people didn't know what Jurassic Park was going to be before it was Jurassic Park, and when they saw it, they're like, oh shit, this slaps, because it's a good movie. It's really, it's a really well-written movie, and it's well-cast and well-acted and well-paced and well-directed and all of that stuff, and the effects were very, very groundbreaking. It's good because it's good. It was popular because it was good. And yeah, you know, not all good movies become successful. This just happened to be, like, a major Hollywood blockbuster that I'm sure, you know, I wasn't, like, a conscious human being with awareness of the world in 1993 and the years leading up to it. But I'm sure that the promotion for that was insane, and there's a lot of hype around it, yeah. But also, you can't know until you know, and I think that, like, it was successful because it was a good movie. So, it's the same kind of stuff that happened after the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. They're like, well, this is gonna suck, so might as well just put it out there. And then it was surprisingly successful. And they were like, obviously what worked about this first movie was the fact that it was Pirates of the Caribbean and Jack did the funny thing. And people were like, no, that's not what we liked about it, actually. But they didn't listen to that, and they just kind of were like, here, we repeated the same jokes and lines that we made in the first movie. Don't you like that? Here's a thing. Here's a character that we brought back from the dead. And people were like, no, that's not what we liked, though. So yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon that I think I see. You see it a lot. You know, people, they look at a thing and they judge poorly about why it was successful. Usually these people, I think, are producers. No shade, actually, all of the shade. Much shade. I mean, I just talked about how much I detest Jeffrey Katzenberg for like a full 5 minutes earlier in this podcast. So, you know, that's not really what makes it work. You know, And I totally get that there would be a misjudgment after Lord of the Rings came out. And still to this day.
Like one of the sort of sideways inheritors of the, like... Because, like, you know, there's superhero movies that are so big on having this sort of both open-ended and very static canon, where, like, nothing's ever really allowed to change because you have to be able to, like, watch them in any order or whatever, or you have to be able to be, like, nobody wants anybody to, like, walk in and be like, oh, fuck, I didn't see the first one, so I don't know what's fucking going on.
I did that once.
Fair. The like 2 or 3 or 4 movie adaptations of young adult dystopia books. Where they're, you know, you're signing on for this, like, multi-year, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, you know, immersive world building, blah, 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 all of this shit, but all of the scripts suck. And so I feel like you can see, I don't know, it's like you can see bits and pieces of all of the things that we've been talking about for, like, a month now that make Lord of the Rings such a titanic achievement in storytelling. And you can see parts of it made it into other films, but I'm having a hard time thinking of anybody who's done... who's really hit all of the things to, like, make something that's comparably, you know, so much work went into every single aspect of it and it all worked, because, like, you know, clearly bazillions of people work on these, like, massive high budget movies. It's just most of the time they, like, suck.
Mm-hmm. They couldn't even do it with the Hobbit movies.
No, they couldn't do it without, yeah, you know, it's like, I don't know what the alchemy there was. I mean, I think part of the problem with, like, the Hobbit movies is that there was some executive meddling that happened there, which, like, there was no reason for there to be 3 of them. And, you know, it's I think part of what ended up making Lord of the Rings so the way that it is and kind of unique is that they kind of fucked off to New Zealand for, like, 4 years and didn't talk to anybody. You know, there was an element of, like, we're kind of gonna, like, I think there was a level of creative control by the people actually making the movie that is just fucking highly unusual. Well, and I think it's something that they just didn't have for the Hobbit movies. Like, you know, they were like, oh, we have to do another Lord of the Rings. And it's like, this source material isn't gonna produce another Lord of the Rings. And, like, forcing it to do that just makes it not as good.
You can't...
It's not a good version of The Hobbit or a good movie.
You can't get another Lord of the Rings by trying to do another Lord of the Rings. You just gotta make you know, Guillermo del Toro's Hobbit, which I'm so sad that like, you know, that is no longer with us.
How do I bust into the universe where that exists? And we probably also have single-payer universal healthcare and, like, dealt with coronavirus like adult human beings who are responsible.
I love this place. Let's go.
Hey, y'all want a take or two?
Yes.
Want a couple of
takes? I want several takes from you because we've been talking for years.
I feel like you're walking through the stance of a baseball game going, anybody want to take? Hot takes! I was imagining
myself, like, sitting in the corner of the saloon and everyone's fighting, and I just kind of gently raise my voice and say, y'all want to take? And then the bar goes silent, and they all turn towards me. And I say, you know when you're working at a place, your boss don't know shit, but your boss is in control of everything, but because they're not on, you know, like, the ground floor of helping people or doing whatever, they don't know shit. But they gotta make choices, and they're in charge of everything, and they won't listen to the people who know shit.
Yep.
I feel like that's kind of what happened with The Hobbit.
Maddie, wow, that just took me back.
is they didn't know shit, and they wouldn't listen to the people who knew shit. And I feel like that's the problem with a lot of, like, those dystopian movies or like Marvel. is like they're just like, but what if I want to make money and therefore what if we made like a bunch of these movies? And then the people who know shit were like, but that's too many movies. That's like too many to tell the story correctly. And then the bosses were like, yeah, but we're the ones who make choices.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, I guess that's what we gotta do.
And then if they're anything like my workplace, they'll, like 6 months later, they'll be like, so any questions? Like, what works? What didn't? What went wrong here? And it's like, I feel like this was a question you could have probably asked us like maybe 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
And then we could have told you and we wouldn't have this problem, but you didn't.
You took a perfectly good group of people making something work, and you fucked it up. That's what you did. Look at it. It's got a weird frame
so many
rate,
fucking issues.
So many problems.
Yeah.
And a terrible, terrible fandom.
All right. Or if you're my old job, they never ask you what's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or they do, and they're like, what happened here? And you're me, and you know everything because people trust you, and you're a gossipy bitch who likes to hear news, and you're like, I don't know, because you're not gonna fucking snitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why the Hobbit movies got made. So those are my hot takes.
I like them.
It's maybe we should listen to people who know what they're doing more and are specialized in their jobs. Because I think that's what they did for Lord of the Rings, is they let people do the jobs they knew how to do in a collaborative sense. And everyone else just shut up and let them do it.
Yeah, it's almost like they had experts and then trusted them to be experts at things.
What a concept.
Yeah. Can't be having that.
Right. I think that's something that is just so tremendously lacking in so many, like, big boy films these days. I don't know why I said big boy films. I was thinking, like, blockbusters.
I can't tell if I hate it or love it, but continue.
Yeah, I don't know either. And it's very frustrating to know that, like, they just picked up what they saw is, oh, these movies made money, and they didn't see the nugget in there of, like, these movies made money because they were good, because they were quality films. They just saw, oh, these movies made money because people like the sword fight, and it's like, no, you baby child. Why don't you have eyes with which to see?
Yeah.
Like, just fucking look.
This is what happens when all of your movie decisions get made by algorithms. I'm looking at you, Netflix, and also the villain was capitalism all along.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's appealing to the lowest common denominator, which frustratingly people seem to feel is the most important demographic in the world. But they don't understand that, like, you're the arbiters of taste. Like, you make the movies. You don't have to fucking appeal to anybody. You can make a movie and say, look, and then people will be like, yeah, maybe I'll give this a chance, and then they'll change their mind. The majority, even if most people going to see a movie were dum-dums, and they were all, you know, in the 18 to 34, you know, straight white man demographic, which I don't think that's true. Even if that were true, like, they're not all gonna have bad taste, I gotta hope, and you have the ability to be like, we made something different, and maybe they'll hate it at first, and maybe you won't make any money, but maybe, like, 2 years later, people will be like, ah, shit, this is a masterpiece. Who knows?
But Helena, that would make the investment bankers sad.
Yeah, well, I hope
have
they
any
fucking
of
cry.
these people making decisions based on what the investment bankers will do seen Jurassic Park? Do they know what happens to the lawyer in Jurassic Park?
No, they haven't because they don't watch
He's the only
movies.
person who dies.
They don't understand. He's the bad guy. He's the closest thing that those movies actually have to a villain, because fuck you, dinosaurs are awesome. Actually, Wayne Knight's pretty bad too.
I was gonna say, I think
he
Wayne
also
Knight
dies.
He
does also
dies.
die.
Muldoon also dies, though, which is sad. And Samuel L.
Which is
Jackson,
sad.
R.I.P.
And he dies, he didn't deserve to die.
Sometimes
Anyway.
I just hear Maddie's voice saying Muldoon in my
Muldoon.
head.
Dude.
I know, me too. I thought about that
Muldoon.
the other night. I don't know what the intended theme of this episode was and what it is now, but this is what it is now.
Well, right now we're talking about how much we hate capitalism, but the original idea was the impact of Lord of the Rings on culture, and I think part of it is we were like, yeah, like, it had a really, like, you know, I think the cool thing about Lord of the Rings is they made it for people who liked Lord of the Rings, like, people who liked fantasy, and that opened up a lot of other people's minds to fantasy, and then opened the gateway to some other stuff. I think Lord of the Rings opened the door for, more bigger blockbuster fantasy in, the main kind of genre arena. That sentence was not good. But, we wouldn't have gotten, like, shitty fantasy movies, shitty fantasy blockbusters either, probably, with at least not for a while.
Nobody would have made King
Son.
Arthur Legend of the Sword.
Right, nobody would have made cinema classic King Arthur Legend of the Sword without Lord of the Rings first.
I want to watch that movie again and see if it makes, I want to see if it makes more sense when I'm drunk.
I don't care. It slaps.
If it didn't make sense when we were fresh off of, was it pre-Taco Bell or post-Taco Bell that we saw that?
It was pre-Taco Bell,
If we were in a pre-Baja Blast mode going to see that movie at midnight with, 3 other dudes
it was post.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we got
pre-movie Taco Bell is what I was thinking.
Ate a shit ton of Taco Bell, and then immediately slammed our brains into that movie like a brick wall at 80 miles an hour.
If we weren't able to make sense of that movie post Baja Blast with 3 other straight dudes behind us, that we had to tamp down on how often we were talking about how hot Jude Law was, or at least I was having to go through that dilemma, then I don't know if it ever will make sense.
You made a compelling point.
Made sense to me. Maybe you just need to grow up.
Fair. Or, what, what I'm thinking about, and I hate that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, hit me with it.
Aragon.
Oh, God!
Oh, it's true, yeah. They wouldn't have fucking made Aragon without Lord of the Rings.
No, they really
that movie
wouldn't have.
came out on my birthday.
The books
That
would not have existed
have
without
okay.
the fucking books. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm just confirming that the Aragon movie release date was in fact December 17th. Another thing that they stole from Lord of the Rings, it was actually December 15th. Oh, thank God.
He basically stole the whole ass thing. Chris.
What a film that was.
What a film.
That I remember absolutely nothing about except for the balls of the wall casting.
Not, because nobody should remember anything about it. I just am
put that one away.
Just that's sort of one of those, there are just so many aesthetic trappings of traditional, Western white fantasy that are Lord of the Rings, but they're just so baked into so many different things. I mean, they're fucking Dungeons and Dragons,
elves.
The elves, dwarves, and halfling thing. They're straight out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's Jolkins,
and they always have been. And then that's kind of just the aesthetics of Lord of the Rings became the template for a lot of Western fantasy. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember.
Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, I actually have a good transition. I want to talk about just internet culture in Lord of the Rings, because that's a whole kettle of worms. But I do want to say,
is better.
One of the things that I used to put on in the TV at work, we had display TVs, is it was Searching for the Hobbit, which is this 6-part special on Amazon. That was about where let's trace through Tolkien pulled a lot of inspiration for a lot of things. But where did hobbits come from? I remember watching the beginning episode 1 being bitch, he made those up. But I watched, I half watched the whole thing. And it was talked to me about it. Yeah, right, he made them up. But it was talking a lot of interesting, here's where he was pulling stuff for Aragorn, blah blah blah. And then it got to the end, and surprise, surprise, guess who was right? He fucking made them up. But they were and it's crazy that that is one of those big cultural things now that he set that up. He just fucking did that.
Yeah.
That man invented hobbits, and now they're fucking everywhere in fantasy. He was truly a cornerstone for what fantasy would become. Especially high fantasy. I would say it would not be unreasonable to say that Tolkien was the father of high fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And that is goddamn fucking insane to think about. Thanks, Jolkin. We owe you big time. Sorry that literally no one has ever understood what made your book so good.
When your son
Nope.
asks you for a bedtime story, you just gotta fuck around and invent a genre.
And you get fucking mad because he keeps calling you out, and when you fuck up the color of the dwarves' hats or whatever, you gotta write it down. And then you write him more of it while he's in the war. Anyway, thanks, Chris. Hell yeah, let's talk about internet culture. We just passed the 50th anniversary of taking the Hobbits to Isengard. That internet classic to which we owe our lives. Yeah. Mm-hmm. YouTube was worth it, despite all the bullshit that it has created, if only for they're taking the Hobbits to Isengard.
Mm-hmm. I remember where I was when I watched that video for the first time. Isn't that fucking hilarious?
That's wild. I don't remember at all.
My friend...
It's like I was born knowing it. I can't remember watching it.
I had a friend in middle school, or like a not a close friend, but a friend, Devin.
An acquaintance.
Who you will remember, Maddie.
Yes, one of the rings I have I wear all the time is actually from Devin, and also...
Oh, wild!
For people who don't know, one time her mom yelled at me, and then my mom yelled at her mom, and it fucking ruled. But we were friends.
Yeah, she was pretty tight. I actually...
Her mom sucked.
Her mom was not great. Sorry, Devin's mom. God, I hope she doesn't listen to this.
Maybe she shouldn't have yelled at an eighth grader. I don't know what to tell.
Maybe. Devin was, like, really into anime, and, like, I saw my only episodes of Cowboy Bebop.
Fucking of course we were friends.
When I was over at her place, and she showed me a lot of, like, early, like, internet memes. I watched the, End of the World video when I was over at her place, and... one of the things that we watched when I was over there is like all of those videos. It was Taters, and it was also taking the hobbits to Isengard. I was over at her house,
and that is just one of those things. I feel like anytime fucking anyone brings up Lord of the Rings, someone in their hind mind is like,
"Hobbits, the hobbits, the hobbits."
Tell me, where's Gandalf?
I much desire to speak with him.
I know every time we watch it, there's always just this moment where we're like, wait, the hobbits are going to Isengard. Everyone shut up. And then it's literally that meme that's like Legolas saying the line, and then they all cheer.
Yeah.
Legolas saying the thing.
No, absolutely.
And it's so good. And I feel like there's a lot of that, like, because Lord of the Rings came out in such a perfect moment where, like, internet meme culture was really starting to kind of find its footing, like, real early days. So that source material was basically all out by the time, like, internet meme culture was starting, and everyone who was on the internet at that time was a nerd, and it just kind of took off. This is not even getting into, like, Lord of the Rings, like, early fanfic culture. Like, I feel like there's obviously Star Trek, and there's Harry Potter, and I feel like Lord of the Rings was also one of, like, early, like, niche fandoms. Like, it wasn't one of the big boys, but, like, whew, it was kicking.
Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings fan fiction, I think, was just a lot more popular. Like, the author base was sort of, I think, skewed a little older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably because all of the characters are adults.
Right.
I've gone back and read some of it. I was very excited to find out, a couple of years ago that, a couple of the Lord of the Rings, or like Tolkien specific fanfic archives got archived as part, like because Archive of Our Own also like imports entire archives that are going to be, that are like they imported a lot of stuff before GeoCities went kaput. These things that are like, nobody wants to pay the hosting fees anymore. And so one of my favorite old Tolkien archives got imported wholesale, which was really exciting to find out because I thought I lost a bunch of bookmarks that I really was gonna miss.
Sorry, I decided as preparation for something, I don't know what, to go on fanfiction.net and look at Lord of the Rings fanfic. There are 50.2 thousand fanfictions.
Nice.
On fanfiction.net. and some of them are really intense.
Do tell. I mean, don't go into detail, but...
No, but some of them are like, what if Tolkien came back to life and wrote additional shit for Lord of the Rings, but it was, like, on fanfiction.net, and like, people are making up, like, their, like, it's crazy what people are doing. It is, like, updated 12 hours ago! like...
You know what you're
hold
doing
on,
tonight,
let me read... No, I have Dresden Files to watch, but let me read this to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, I am not insulting this person. If for some reason they ever find out that I'm talking about their fanfic, I just want you to know, I am deeply respectful of what you are doing, because this is some deep lore shit, and it rules, and I think you're extremely cool. Centuries, even ages ago, ages, Arda's fate had already been sealed. Morgoth shall return as Melkor by breaking the door of night, precipitating a great battle called the Dagor against the Valar and their allies, but will ultimately be slain. What? That's like a Silmarillion quote, but that's a fan fiction.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's...
These people rule. This is awesome. And they're still doing this. Like, this is super active.
Wow.
It's amazing how much people still care about Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I'll do an Archive of Our Own check too while I'm here. It's been a minute since we've done an Archive of Our Own check, but go for it.
I have a quiz.
Oh, boy.
I am on Archive of Our Own. I am in the Lord of the Rings all media types section.
Okay, so I'm not going to go there because you're going to quiz me.
I have sorted by date posted, and I have said complete works only. I am scrolling down the first explicit fic that I came across. What is the ship?
Legolas Gimli.
Oh, close.
Aragorn Legolas.
Oh, Legolas Aragorn.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it?
That's a right.
And I was correct.
That's a correct.
Yeah, does not surprise me. That was the big. I feel like that was the battle there. Which did you ship?
Excuse
me.
Who was
Legolas's boyfriend?
Legolas has two hands. Last time I checked.
Well, yeah, the correct answer is Legolas has two hands. But back in the day, that was not an option. You couldn't say that.
That's just sad. That's sad.
I know. It's sad that Legolas can't have two boyfriends.
Anyway, Legolas has two hands.
I can't believe.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go for it. I'm also gonna join you in the Lord of the Rings tag.
Most of
it's been so long.
Most of the recent complete fics are general or teen, which is fine, I guess.
Makes sense.
The next explicit one is Sam Frodo, and then the next one after that, oh, God help me, I don't know how to pronounce these names.
God, I never want to see a crossover ever again.
Exclude
crossovers.
And Thranduil? Who is...
Bitch, who?
Hang on. Yeah? I have to look this up, because now I'm like, who's the fuck?
Z, give us your deep lore.
Okay, can somebody send me a link into the chat so I don't have to go, poking?
To find the fic I'm referring to? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just send me original female characters. Shocking.
There's definitely fic out there that's important. That's basically just there's like a subset of Éowyn Faramir that's just Faramir gets pegged, and those people are extremely valid.
I've never met a group of people more valid.
Fucking right. They're fucking right. You know who else is valid? The people who think that Aragorn has two hands and one's for Boromir, one's for Arwen.
Yeah,
they're fucking right.
Those people are like the "you dropped this crown" emoji meme.
Yeah,
I understand when people do this, but in explicit fics, when people the sneak preview or whatever is like from the porn part.
You know, they're looking you right in the fucking eye, and they're like, "You know what you're goddamn here for?
I'm not here for that. I don't think that's not my particular kink, but mad respect." Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no, what did you find?
I never
What have you found? No! What dark secrets have you seen?
Alright, I just want you to... Oh god, imagine...
Original female character!
Hey, Helena, marry the Franny book voice, why did you look? Why do you always have to look?
I was just scrolling.
I don't even want to click, So
okay,
for-
I just
I don't know if I
know.
wanna
You know what's
touch
really
No,
important
Maddie, you
is
have to.
no,
Okay, go
guys.
ahead, Dee.
So
Yeah,
I clicked on a couple of Discord links and nothing happened. And this time I clicked on it and it says, "Hold up, this link will take you to this. Are you sure you want to go there?"
Yes,
Yeah.
proceed. Show the detail of
yeah,
dicks.
and it's like, do I? So
Please.
the title of this fan fiction is you put the ring
Why?
four
Why?
dots where one of the
No.
tags is "I'm sorry, Tolkien." Next tag, "Please don't haunt me."
God. Wow.
There are 50 hits, and I don't want to add to the hits.
Too bad.
Have you
3
read-
of that is us.
You've read what the sentence is that's supposed to entice me into reading it, correct?
Yes, I have. Helena, do you want to read it, or do you want me to say it with my human mouth?
I can't say it!
I'm gonna drop out of the call again!
Oh god!
If any of our parents are listening, I'm sorry.
No!
Mad respect.
This is
Before
shout out to my dad.
mad respect to this fic writer. Mad respect. You do you. You do
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
Once again,
no, this is
I
the
feel
same
like-
fucking space.
Yeah, I feel like the thing here is I want to make sure that people know I'm not shaming. One, this is a crack fic. They have literally tagged it as a crack fic,
Yeah,
and I
yes.
respect them for it.
Yes.
Two, I just want people to understand I'm never gonna. That's not true. I get one kink shame token a week, and sometimes I save them up and I use them all at once.
Yeah.
I'm not using one now. I think that people get to do whatever, for the most part, whatever weird shit they want, and I support them. And I would never ever make fun of somebody on our podcast for writing a fan fiction. I would make fun of them in private in my Discord chat because I have a platform, and that platform is not here to make fun of people for writing fan fiction. So the one sentence description for this fan fiction, now that I've gotten all that out of the way, is just, "You have been lusting after Gollum for a while." No period. No other part of that sentence. That's what it is, and that's what you fucking get. It has 2 kudos.
It's short. It's 672 words.
Posted August 10th, 2020.
You know
This
what?
is a recent hit.
We are all going through quarantine, and different things
You know
are
what?
coming out.
You know what I'm about to do?
No.
I'm
you about to
leaving
do?
kudos on this goddamn fanfiction.
They've earned it. You know, they've earned it.
They have.
For
I'm
being
not,
on our
I'm
podcast.
not reading it, but I am leaving kudos.
Good.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Which is
you know what?
attached to my fucking archive of our own account that can see and you know what? I'm just gonna like I don't care.
Oh.
I hope that the CIA agent who has to pay attention to everything I do on the internet is having
Oh
a
my
good
God.
evening.
Fucking red.
Oh my god.
Oh,
in the face.
by the way, the Alu Thingle and Tolkien really needed to stop naming people like Thing in the name. He's just some elf king who I don't give a shit about. Because that's my secret is that I don't actually care that much about the Silmarillion. Sorry everybody.
There's so much of it.
He was the king of Doriath and the greatest lord of the Sindar, who are like the kind of second tier of elves. He was the one who was like, hey, we gotta go after the Silmarils that were stolen. He was also the tallest of all elves and men, which probably means that he was like 9 feet tall.
Big
'Cause-
motherfucker.
Well, because Tolkien was really, as we've said before, Tolkien was really obsessed with like indicating that people were like magical or powerful or whatever by having them be like unusually tall. And
Yeah,
this
he had a thing, I get
motherfucker
it.
is the tallest. So
Yeah.
he's basically an NBA basketball player
Yeah,
with
he
like
was the sexiest
silver
bitch of them
hair.
all. Yeah, good for him. Thank you, Helena. That is what I was thinking.
You're welcome.
I'm not gonna say what you said.
Okay. That's fair.
But say what you need to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
oy.
saying that out loud.
I think the other thing I like about Tolkien fic.
Oh,
is...
he's Luthien's dad. There you
there we go. I was like, God, that name's familiar, and that's why.
And he was Turin's foster father.
Okay. The pieces are coming together.
Yeah. So
I think the thing I love the most about Lord of the Rings fic is they are one of two types. One of them is people who are really, really into Lord of the Rings and try and mimic their writing style. I am that group, unfortunately.
Oh God, I've been trying to write this fucking Aragorn Faramir fic for so long, and I just keep getting tripped up on, like, trying to imitate the style.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm not even doing it. I just did it. And then there's the people who are like, I don't give a shit. They're fucking, and you're just gonna have to deal with that. And I think both are worthy of deep respect.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked a lot about Lord of the Rings fanfiction, but to be fair, we haven't had an Ao3 check in a long time, and so much of Lord of the Rings legacy is fucking fanfiction.
Yeah,
so,
this is the episode to do it on, baby.
Yeah, what's that Lord of the Rings fic that was like a Russian fic where they have different copyright laws, and they basically like wrote this entire huge like book based on this like one part of Middle Earth that like never gets talked about. It was fucking Leia has a link to it somewhere.
I was gonna say, I know what you're talking. I can't remember the name of it. I think I have a copy saved up somewhere.
Yeah, it's been translated. It's like it's definitely a labor of love. You can tell. I want to see what the longest fic is. Sort and filter. No, I didn't actually choose anything. I fucked up. Word count. Sort and filter. Holy Moses. Pardon me. August 17th, 2020 was when it was last updated. Welcome to the world's longest English language fanfiction. 4.56 million published words and counting. This fic has a Discord server. It has hours. We publish a chapter a week. It has 270 chapters. I don't know what this ship is. That drill is here. Hold on. I'm gonna Cappy. I'm gonna put it in here.
Erlene Sullivan?
Yeah, who are these people? A disenchanted New York City lawyer moves to rural Ireland.
Dude, they're OCs.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
A span of over 2 decades of story time sweeps in everything from culture and politics to social collapse, the constant evolution and testing of interpersonal relationships and growth, the concept of families of one's choosing, closeted identities, deep explorations of trauma, concurrent psychological damage, and more.
So, okay.
These are the coolest people on the planet.
This is the Outlander of Lord of the Rings fic, is what this is. I don't even have to read it, I just know.
Rips.
I think the wildest thing is that this was first published on August 28th, 2016, which means that is over 1 million words per year.
Yeah, happy 4 years to this fanfiction. I would like to see it. Thank you.
Damn.
Well done. The next one, because I didn't mark, I didn't say, hey, don't give me crossovers. The very next fanfic is, well, let me just read off to you some of the ships that we have in this next fanfic.
This next one that's not a crossover is Legolas' original male characters, which is like, that's big dick energy right there.
Mad
Good
respect.
for them.
This one is called Roller Coaster, Rides in the Land of Fluff, First Meetings and Romance. So some of the ships that we have here are Thranduil Reader. This person's just a Lee Pace fan. I can see this just by a quick glance at Rooney. Legolas Greenleaf Reader, Loki Reader, Steve Rogers Reader, Ned Pushing Daisies Reader, Michael Fassbender Reader, Tom Hiddleston Reader, Lee Pace Reader, David A.U., Eric Lensher Reader, Charles Xavier Reader. You get the idea.
I hate when they do that.
It continues on to say things such as Dwayne Johnson Reader, Thomas Sharp Reader, Will Turner Reader. There's a lot.
I was gonna say, we could just right now talk about this other fic I found. That's a novel set as a sequel to Lord of the Rings starting a year after Moron On. It is a created character navigating the post-war landscape through most of Middle-earth at over 800,000 words. It is longer than The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and Silmarillion combined. So pace yourself, smiley face. There are 24 maps to go with the text.
Dude.
They are referenced in relevant chapters. You can go here for more detail. Thanks for looking. I hope you like it. I do like it.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Leave kudos.
I will leave a kudos.
I love
this person rules.
I love people so much. Everybody in the world is so incredibly nerdy.
Oh, thank you for reading my novel. You're so welcome.
I love like seeing.
I fucking read this.
I just.
Hang on, I have 3 tabs to share with you that I opened.
Oh boy. Okay.
I love
love seeing people be just like so inspired by things that I also just like love with a passion that defies reason. You know, like fandom sucks a lot of the time, but it's also a really cool and kind of beautiful thing that people like are just like, I've poured out my heart, soul, and a shitload of free time and all this work and stuff, and then like just yeeted it up on the internet for the enjoyment of a like relatively small sliver of the population who are just like gonna go ape shit like sea lions at the zoo at feeding time. Yeah, I don't know, just like I think that's great. I don't know where I'm fucking going with this.
This is so cool.
Hey, you know what is good and also is related to Lord of the Rings? The Lord of the Rings bad subtitles.
You're right.
Yes. Haven't you, Gomes?
They never stop being funny.
Oh god. Every time there's some that we quote every time, and I think I used one for the first episode.
You did. You
title
definitely
is
did.
Ride Hard, Never Come Back.
Yeah.
I don't suppose we ever have to see them ever again. Mr. Beans is still my Tumblr profile header. It's Aragorn making that quizzical face. It just says Mr. Beans. Beens.
Yeah.
The time that it was discovered, Haven't You, Gomes, was a low and high point because one of my last names is Gomes. So that could be used against me literally forever.
I would like to take the credit for being the first person to do that.
That was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an iconic moment.
My name's Smeedle. I can't say it.
My name's Smeedle.
My name's Smeedle. That's Solomon Millendin. Oh, they're for those who don't know, every movie fandom has this. But that thing where English subtitles get translated into another language, usually with a different alphabet, and then translated back, sometimes a couple of times. And so the English subtitles you end up having are just a mess.
Just incoherent.
Oh yeah, they're so funny. There's a post on Tumblr that has a bunch of them. I've never found. I know that there's an archive somewhere that has like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, it always does hobbits instead of hobbits.
Yes. God, I'm gonna see if I can find them really quick, just because like they're just so good. And that's another one of those. Oh, here they are.
Ah, yes, I'm heir to the throne of Kondo. That's a good one. Kondo has no king.
Follow you fools.
Yeah.
I know it is old frog food! Oh, I found it. Hold on. Oh my god. That's another one of those things that was really, really popular to do, like, I think early internet fandom, and I think it's died off a little bit, which is sad, because there's just nothing more pure than reading, like, a bad interpretation of your native language. I don't know how well that translates to other languages, but I assume that's also extremely funny.
Yeah, it's gotta be, especially if your native language is one that has a lot of like bizarre homophones, like just because English is a garbage language.
You are warm.
Yeah.
Oh man. I am Aragon, son of Alfred. Horbert. Yeah, they're just so good. Oh my god.
This one is, instead of for death and glory, you get Theoden saying, forget the glory. Alright.
We are not oaks, we are hobics.
The one
never hold hobics before.
The one place in the middle of the earth we don't want to see.
There's the Mr. Beans.
You're... I can't don't
yes, and then one of the one that you ran into like in middle school and were horrified because it had it said pussy that just says bring your pussy face to my ass.
Also, the one that just says go to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody should have Pretty the Child. Oh my god. I know this is not as funny because you're not seeing them, you're just hearing us say the subtitles out loud. But I literally just looked up Lord of the Rings bad subtitles and it was the first Reddit post. And I would say, if there is anything that made Lord of the Rings worth it, it was this. Oh, because they're just so... It's just such a pure and simple joy. Like, forget everything else.
Yeah.
It's just... Oh my god. This one is just with 2 H's, must think. And it's like, oh, me when I'm at work and I'm getting distracted. Oh. This one isn't even anything.
I think we need to make a custom emoji of the go to hell one.
Yeah. To Tatos mash 'em, take and twist you, which I think is boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Well, you know what's it's funny. Like I feel like this is a lost artifact of like the development of auto transcription and auto fucking translating. Like before it worked very well.
Yeah, right?
You know, you're not gonna get stuff like this anymore because, like, the technology has gotten too good to produce word salad of this caliber.
I think that's the trick, is always you have to translate it into a language that doesn't share an alphabet with you.
Yeah.
Because the characters get all fucked up when you bring it back. It used to be you could just do it example, this is Chinese, I think, is you go to Chinese and you come back, but I think this time you have to do it a few times to really get the mess up.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a lost art. Like I said, it's just, this is not something that people really do anymore.
Yeah. Cannot eat, better work. Not sleep is me realizing that I haven't eaten dinner, but I can't go to bed until after I eat dinner.
Right. I'm just so glad Lord of the Rings exists. If only for these screen caps. And also because it was very formative in my young life, and then, like, also it was one of the things that, like, me and my friends bonded over as I grew older, and isn't that nice that, like, that was something that we could all come together over. You know, when I moved in with my roommate Amanda, I was like, man, I just want to watch Fellowship, and she was like, oh, I love Lord of the Rings, and we bonded over that, and she hates Frodo, and we have had many a discussion. She's coming around.
Oh, good. I trust that someday you will be able to...
After 2.5 years, she's coming around. She still thinks he's annoying, but I'm like, no, listen to me. Listen to me. The reason that he doesn't listen to Sam about Gollum is because he has to believe that he can save himself. But I think it's something to be said that, like, so many people of our generation really latched on to Lord of the Rings in such a cool way. Because we all grew up, you know, vaguely online, at least more than anyone before us, and therefore all saw they're taking the hobbits to Isengard at a formative age, and then we can never go back.
Yeah.
And, yep.
Nor, I would say, do we wish to.
Nor do we wish to. Like, what the fuck is ever gonna bring me anything as funny as I say you gotta toast me?
This one's getting me in a special way for some reason. I'm not quite sure why.
I think in this case it's toast me, and then the next one is I say you've got to toast me.
His eye almost told me.
Now for rat.
The Sam one, lovely big golden ships with noise. That's just fucking Antony Cleopatra. That's Enobarbus' speech where he's talking about the sails, the poop beaten gold, and the sails purple with the billows, something like that, right? The ship she sailed on, that's that speech, yeah?
Yeah, no, you're goddamn it, Helena!
I'm right.
You are!
Oh my god, one of these is just Sam saying, why so serious? What if it had been, all those fucking, we just posted now for Rat twice.
It's good.
This one is fucking slaying me right now. You don't have to keep this in here, but something about this one is just
Put the fucking Nike swoosh next to him.
So for
can you
people
imagine?
who can't see, it's the very last one, and it's Gollum, like, before he has his little conversation with himself in Two Towers, leaning up against against the tree, looking kind of sideways and sneaky, and the caption just says, "Do it." Why? I
so
appreciate
funny.
it. Anyway,
you remember, real quick, do you remember, when fucking The Dark Knight came out, the second one? That was called The Dark Knight, right? I don't remember. And you got those shirts everywhere that said, "Why so serious?" and had the Joker face on it. Can you imagine this Sam, but he's got that Joker makeup on it? It's just the "Why so serious?" Fucking Christ.
Alright.
Oh,
I love both of you very much, but my legs are starting to fall asleep.
Yes.
Please
we need to end.
This has to end. Oh god. Oh.
This is just it's the end of Return of the King. It just keeps happening.
It ends 12 times. Remember when we were like, it can't be 2 hours, and I'm like, this is about as long as the last two. Easy come, easy go.
A lot of this is getting cut, though.
We'll see. I'll do my best.
No, I have an instruction for something that you can cut, so
I saw.
don't worry.
It's alright. Oh, man. So I guess with that goofy-ass note, we've come to the end of Lord of the Rings Summer. Thank you for hanging out with us here on Steep Up the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. It feels weird to say the outro considering everything going on, but that's fine. I'm here. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come hit us up on Twitter at people_snake, or shoot us an email at sneepleatthemovies@gmail.com. Our amazing music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter. Our super snazzy logo was designed by Bethany Luthold. You can find her at bethanyluthold.wixsite.com. If you got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you absolutely think we need to see, or your favorite bad Lord of the Rings subtitle, come say hello. Please send us a screen cap. I am crying a little bit. Also, if you enjoyed Lord of the Rings Summer in any way, shape, or form, please leave a review on iTunes and share the show. Now that all of Lord of the Rings Summer is all wrapped up, if you have any Lord of the Rings friends, they've now got 4 whole ass episodes they can kind of binge through during these quarantine times. If they're driving to and from work and miserable because they have to go outside during a pandemic, or if they're stuck at home and they're miserable because they have to be inside, guess what? They got Lord of the Rings to listen to, and also us reading aloud bad Lord of the Rings subtitles. What more could you ask for? We always appreciate it. Always appreciate your help. You're listening. You're putting up with the bullshit. Always good. Love ya. And as always, thank you for listening. And someday, we'll see you at the movies. Oh, Christ.
You held that together valiantly.
Don't do me anything! I'm natural.